Okay, students, I'm gonna do the same note using the LCD because I noticed when you do the butterfly or the crisscross, I don't know, crisscross methods, you can complicate things algebraically. So let's do the LCD so you can have both videos. I created both videos. See, the LCD means least common denominator. That's what the LCD means. So, for example, these ones you can use crisscross. I think for these where everything's a monomial, crisscross method would work perfectly. But if you're doing the LCD, I'm gonna go to question number 2. So this is how it would help when you have binomials in the denominator. So let me factor this one out. First, I'm gonna copy 6x over. I know this one is gonna factor minus and then 3 and then x plus 2. And then I'm gonna put the LCD over here, the least common denominator. This is how you do it. But first, let's factor first. So this is a difference of squares. I know this is gonna give me x minus 2 and x plus 2. Okay, so how does that work? Let me put it here as a note. X minus 4. This can be expressed as x squared minus 2 squared. So, and this relates to this a squared minus b squared equals a plus b and a minus c. So how does that relate? So let me do here. X squared minus 2 squared equals x plus 2 x minus 2. So this is how I factor. We've done this several times. That part. Okay, the LCD. So you're gonna be looking at the denominators. Look at these denominators. I'm gonna highlight what they have the same. What they have the same is this one and that one. These two are the same for this part of the expression and for that part of the expression. In the denominator, these two have the same. So you're gonna copy that once. Whatever is the same, you copy once, and I'm gonna highlight it so that you guys see. These two is that one for the LCD. Whatever's left on both, you write it here. So x minus 2 was left. Sorry. So x minus 2 here. That would be part of the LCD. So again, whatever is repeated, you write it once, and everything that's left, and you write it also for the LCD. So that's the LCD. So what happens here? I'm gonna let you guys do LCD here. Just put LCD. It would be this one, but write LCD. That way you don't have to rewrite this many times. Now let's look at this numerator. What is missing? This is the LCD. Is it missing something? No. So that one stays the same. Look at this numerator. Look at the denominator. What's missing from the LCD? It's missing the x minus 2. So we're gonna multiply by x minus 2 these parts. So we have minus 3x minus 2. So we're multiplying that, we didn't need anything. So this would become, so let me rewrite it, so LCD 6x minus 3x plus 6. So this gives you 6x minus 3x gives you 3x plus 6 over. Now we can write the LCD. X plus 2 and x minus 2. Now let's find the GCF from this one. It does have a 3. So this would be the 3 outside. So we have 3 over 3, which just cancel out and you have the x. 6 over 3 would be plus 2. 2x minus 2. Okay, so now all you have to do is cancel what's the same. I might use a different color. This is the same as these at the bottom, so those two cancel out, and you're left with 3 over x minus 2. Okay, let's go to example, and that's using the LCD. There's less work than doing the crisscross or the back side. So example 3. So let's do the LCD for this one, least common denominator. Look at the denominators. You can't really do anything when you're doing the LCD. Look at the denominator, see if you can just simply factor out something. You can on this one, so nothing repeats, so that means you're gonna have the whole thing as your LCD. The whole thing is your LCD. So put the LCD, I'm gonna put it for this one, it's not too bad. And then you're gonna see each term to see what they're missing from the LCD. So this one has a 3t. What's missing? The t plus 1. So you're gonna multiply t plus 1 here. This one has a t plus 1, so it's missing the 3t. So you're gonna multiply 3t for this one. They write it here now. 2 times t, 2t, 2 times 1 plus 2, and then plus 5 times 3 is 15t. Okay, so that equals 2t plus 15t is 17t plus 2 over 3t t plus 1. And that's your answer. You can't simplify it. Okay, again, the LCD. That one, if you guys don't, we can actually fix this question easy because they're kind of the same. So we're gonna divide this by -1. We're gonna to make it look like this. So let's rewrite this as x minus 3 minus. So you got a -1 outside. There's a 9. So 3 divided by -1 becomes a -3, and then negative x divided by -1 becomes a positive x. And then we can rewrite this bottom part as 7, so x minus 3. If you notice these are negative, so the whole thing would become a positive. And then you have the 9, and then we're gonna flip this one. Switch them, not flip it. Switch x minus 3. So that became a positive because of that negative that we GCF from this one. So now we have it. Now find the LCD. So if you notice, both of these rational numbers have the same denominator, so the LCD would be just that one thing that repeats. So whatever repeats, you put it once in the LCD, which is part of the denominator. Once you have that, carry that LCD. You can write this one, it's just a simple one like that. And then see what's missing from the top. So x minus 3, so it has the whole LCD. This one, x minus 3, the LCD is x minus 3, so it has everything. So you don't have to multiply by anything, you can just add the top. 7, 9 would be 16 over x minus 3. And that's the answer for example 4. With the LCD is much easier. Okay, for this one. So for this one, let's write a 1 underneath. And let's find the LCD. If you notice, nothing repeats on the denominator, so you're going to have to write everything. So 1 times the m plus 1. But the 1 doesn't really affect anything, so the LCD would be x m plus 1. Now let's rewrite the LCD at the bottom for the denominator, and let's see what's missing. So that one has a 1, so it's missing the whole m plus 1. So we're going to multiply this m plus 1, the whole thing, and this one has the m plus 1, so that one stays. So we're going to have 1 times m is m, 1 plus 1 times 1 is just plus 1 and then plus m. So that gives you m plus m is 2m plus 1 over m plus 1, and you can't do anything else. That's the answer. Now let's do 6. So let's do the LCD. Before, like I said, you will need to factor stuff from these things. And I can see I can factor an x from this one, and I can factor 3 or GCF a 3 from this one. So let's rewrite this. So here we have the x outside, 2 over nothing, so it's just 2, and then x squared over x becomes 1x, and then x over x is plus 1. And then we have the 3 outside, so 6 over 3 would be 2, and then the x, 3 over 3 is plus 1. Okay, now let's find the LCD. You guys notice the denominators of this repeats, so you're gonna write it in the LCD once, and then see what else repeats. Nothing else repeats, so you're gonna write everything else that's left. So the 3 and the x. So this whole thing is the LCD. So now let's rewrite it. Let's write the LCD at the bottom. And then let's see what's missing. So this one has the x, this rational number in the expression has the x, and it has that, so it's missing the 3. So we're gonna multiply by 3. This one, he has the 3, and then he has that, but it's missing the x, so we're going to multiply by x here. So 3 times 3 would be 9, minus 2 times 1 would be 2, x times x would be x squared. And there's nothing else that we can do with this one. Much easier with the LCD than the other way. Okay, the last one. So again, you need to think of things to factor here. So I'm going to put a note, we can factor these 2 things. So this is so if you notice this one, I'm going to factor this one. Then I'm going to rewrite everything. So I'm going to have this. So I'm going to have factors, I know that. And I'm going to have factors here. And then I'm going to find the LCD of these things. Factor of this is just one of those, if you guys want to do the S factor, you don't need it. If you don't have to do it, and then there's a 2, so 2 numbers are multiplied to 1, 1 times 1, and add to 2. And then the leading coefficient goes underneath. So we know the factor of this part would be 1x plus 1 plus 1. So x plus 1 and x plus 1. For this one, this is the difference of perfect squares. We can rewrite the 1 as 1 squared because it really doesn't affect, it's still at 1. So this is a type that you would have a squared minus b squared equals, and I do it just to remind you about this one, we've seen it so many times. So let's write it, x squared minus 1 squared equals x plus 1, x minus 1. So that's how you factor that part. So x plus 1, x minus 1. So now let's find the LCD. What repeats here? We have an x plus 1, and we have an x plus 1. So that it's part of the LCD, least common denominator. Does anything else repeat? No, so that means you're going to have to write it here. X plus 1, and x minus 1. Okay, and this is the part where you can use LCD here so that you don't have to write this. Now let's see what's missing from this one. We have the x plus 1, and the x plus 1 is missing an x minus 1 for this one. That one has the x plus 1, and the x minus 1 is missing 1 x plus 1. Now let's put everything here. So 2x times x gives you 2x squared. 2x times negative 1 gives you negative 2x. plus, so x times x would be x squared, and then x times 1 would be x plus x. This doesn't affect what happened here. So let's simplify the top. 2x plus x squared gives you 3x squared. Negative 2x plus x gives you minus x over, let's write this, x plus 1 out, x plus 1, and x minus 1. If you can see, we can simplify, we can put this together, and we can GCF a 3, we can GCF an x, we can GCF an x, and see what happens. So from the top, and then this one I'm gonna put it together, the x plus 1 squared, because it's the same, and then the x plus minus 1. So let's simplify the top. 3 over nothing, so 3, and then x squared over x, it's just 1x, minus x over x is 1. So we can't really cancel anything, so that would be your answer for that one. And that would be, so that's it. Thank you. That's using the LCD.